My name is Tandika. I was born in Durban, South Africa. And for 8 long years, I was part of a dark spiritual network, one that specialized in something we called spiritual wealth exchange. If you think witchcraft is only about charms and curses, you're wrong. The highest level of witchcraft is the manipulation of spiritual laws, and the most powerful of them all is the law of exchange. Tonight, I'm going to tell you how we used it to steal people's blessings, wealth, and destiny, legally, in the spirit realm. There are men who once owned companies in Santon, now begging for food. Women who used to give to the poor, but can't feed their children today. Even pastors, yes, pastors, whose ministries collapsed overnight after receiving certain gifts or seeds. I was part of the group that caused it. We didn't steal physically. We operated through spiritual transactions. And most of the victims cooperated unknowingly. When I joined the coven in Durban, the woman who initiated me said something that changed my life. She told me, "We don't fight people's money. We exchange it. Everything in the spirit realm obeys law, not emotion." She showed me that every blessing on earth must have a spiritual custodian, either of light or of darkness. And when a person's covering becomes compromised, their blessings can be legally transferred. That was our secret weapon, the law of spiritual exchange. Through it, we drained the finances of families, businesses, and even churches, legally, through their ignorance. Part 2, the businesswoman seed. Case 1, a woman named Lotto, who owned a small cosmetics business in Johannesburg. She was generous and faithful in church. One Sunday, her pastor announced a prophetic seed for breakthrough. But what she didn't know was, the prophet had been compromised months earlier. When she gave that 50,000 rand seed, it wasn't received in heaven. It was diverted. Within 3 months, her warehouse burned down. Insurance refused to pay. Her company collapsed. In our coven, her wealth appeared in our spiritual treasury that same week. We use Proverbs 13 verse 22 as our twisted principle. The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. But in witchcraft, we inverted it. The wealth of the righteous is transferred to the wicked, through ignorance. Part 3, the business partner. Then there was Peter Van Wyk, a property developer from Cape Town. Successful. Kind. Generous. One of his partners, Zanio, was our agent. The day they signed their business deal, she wore a ring consecrated to Mammon. Every handshake reinforced a spiritual covenant. Within months, Peter's deals fell apart. Clients vanished. Meanwhile, Zanio rose in wealth and fame. He never knew that, spiritually, ownership had already shifted. The Bible says in Haggai 1 verse 6, "You earn wages only to put them in a bag with holes." That's what we created, holes in his financial bag. Part 4, the gospel artist gift. There was a rising gospel artist in Durban, Namsa. Her songs were full of light, and we were sent to silence her. I pretended to be her friend. On her birthday, I gave her a gold necklace, dedicated to a marine goddess. The moment she wore it, her light began to fade. Her voice cracked. Her show stopped coming. And her wealth was spiritually downloaded into our treasury. That necklace was the legal document of transfer, because she wore it willingly. Part 5, the church members tithe. Then there was Auntie Titi, a faithful tither in Pretoria. She always kept her tithe money in a purse given to her by her late sister, a purse once used in a money ritual. Every tithe she placed in that purse was redirected, spiritually, to our altar. It was like sending a check to the wrong account. She remained poor for years, until one day a pastor told her to burn the purse. That same week, her business doubled. And that was when I began to question everything. Part 6, the widow's dream. The final case broke me. A widow named Mama Gloria from Soweto. She had little, but she was full of joy. One night, she dreamt her late husband asked her for an offering. When she woke, she placed 500 rand beside her bed, for his spirit. That was the moment we gained access. She had unknowingly made a spiritual offering to the dead. Within days, her shop lost customers. Her health declined. But one night during a revival, a pastor prayed for her, and the connection snapped. That same night, I was attacked in my sleep. A bright light filled my room. And a voice said, "Enough, Tandika. Touch not my anointed." That was the night my deliverance began. Part 7, Redemption. When I surrendered my life to Jesus Christ, I finally understood. The law of exchange was not created for destruction, it was designed for covenant blessing. The enemy just perverted it. Galatians 3 verse 13 says, "Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law." That means, no legal ground remains for witches to steal your wealth unless you give them one. If your finances vanish mysteriously. If you often dream of signing or giving things. If gifts or partnerships always lead to loss, be alert. Pray before you give. Discern before you receive. Because in the spirit realm, every exchange has a voice, and every transaction has a consequence. I was once an agent stealing people's blessings. But now, by the mercy of God, I expose it so that others can be free. My name is Tandika. And this is my confession. If this story opened your eyes, share it to help others. Subscribe for more real-life confessions and spiritual insights.